Hi everyone, and welcome to The Sleepy Scientist. I'm really happy you're here. Tonight, we're going to go on a calm and quiet trip to learn something amazing. So get comfy, take a deep breath, and let's enjoy this peaceful science story together. Before we start, tell me in the comments, where are you watching from and what time is it for you right now? If you like relaxing science videos, don't forget to tap the like button. Now let's begin.
There are forests where the trees never sleep, not in the way we do, not with eyelids and dreams, but they rest and wake in rhythms older than language. You may have walked among them before, unaware that the leaves above you were busy reading the light, not just basking in it, but interpreting, adjusting, preparing. Because trees do not merely absorb sunlight like sponges, they listen to it, carefully, constantly. And the story of how they do that, the secret language of sun and leaf, is a gentle wonder of the living world. Let's begin with a single tree, perhaps an old maple or a swaying birch. Its branches reach outward like open hands, and each leaf is a listening ear. Inside those leaves, tiny green machines called chloroplasts are at work. You've heard of photosynthesis, the process where sunlight is turned into sugar. But the story is deeper than that, because inside those chloroplasts are molecules like phytochrome and cryptochrome. Their names sound like something from a mystery novel, and in a way, they are. These molecules don't just react to light, they decode it. They tell the tree what kind of light is arriving, whether it's morning blue, midday white, or the amber hush of evening. You see, not all light is equal. Blue light wakes the leaves. Red light tells them the day is long or short. Far red light, the kind that passes through other leaves, whispers to a plant that it's shaded and it may need to stretch taller. These subtle cues shape everything. When a tree grows, when it rests, when it flowers. It's like the tree is always reading a silent weather report written in light waves. And in this quiet reading, it learns the pace of the seasons. Imagine sunlight as a kind of symphony, and the leaves as tiny musicians, each responding to different notes. Some respond more when the music is soft, others when it grows bright. Together, they play a song that shapes the entire life of the tree. From the moment a seedling emerges from the soil, its survival depends on light, not just receiving it, but interpreting its messages. A young plant might bend toward a narrow window, chasing blue wavelengths like a sleepy child chasing warmth. It learns. It remembers, and as the days pass, it adjusts its leaves like sails, trying to catch the most meaningful rays. At the heart of this light sensing are biological clocks, not ticking mechanical things, but subtle rhythms pulsing in the cells. These are called circadian rhythms. Just like we have them, plants do too. There are genes deep inside a tree's cells that switch on and off in a predictable 24-hour loop. They guide the opening of flowers, the tilt of leaves, the slow breathing of stomata, those tiny pores that drink in air. These rhythms are set by the light. When dawn arrives, it resets the plant's inner clock, aligning it with the sun once again. But here, where it becomes even more magical, some trees prepare for sunrise before it happens. Hours before the first golden light creeps across the sky, leaves begin to shift. Proteins are activated. Sugar is made ready. It's as though the plant anticipates the dawn, remembering yesterday's light and guessing today's. This is not thought, not like we know it, but it is a form of awareness, a quiet, cellular knowing, the kind that never needs words. And in tropical rainforests, where sunlight flickers through tangled canopies, the trees have learned a different kind of listening. Their light changes quickly, clouds drift, shadows sway. So the plants develop faster clocks, quicker responses, more nimble chemistry. Their chloroplasts rearrange themselves within the leaf, dodging harsh beams or gathering scattered light. It's a delicate ballet, performed in silence, visible only if you know how to look. In deserts, the story changes again. Here, light is fierce, not a gentle whisper, but a burning command. Cacti and succulents adjust their photosynthesis, doing much of the work at night when it's cooler, safer. They store light in memories, molecules that hold yesterday's sunshine to be used after dark. These are plants that listen carefully because the cost of listening carelessly is death. Their survival depends on timing everything with exquisite precision. What's remarkable is that all this happens without a brain, without nerves, without thought. Yet somehow, a tree can remember how long the days have been. It can compare the light of today to the light of last week. It can prepare for winter, sensing the shortening days even before the cold winds arrive. It's as if light writes stories in the tree's chemistry, and the tree responds with a slow, graceful dance. Now picture a forest in autumn. The leaves begin to turn, red, gold, and brown. It looks like a farewell, and in a way it is. But behind those colors is a final message of light. As days shorten, phytochrome molecules shift shape, signaling the tree that it's time to slow, time to withdraw sugars from the leaves, time to rest. The green fades not because the tree gives up, but because it is listening to the fatting light and obeying its gentle command. Rest now. The sun is leaving. In this way, trees are not just living in light, they are in conversation with it. And though we do not hear their language, we can see its results in the curve of a branch, the opening of a flower, the gold of autumn. They are poets of photosynthesis, dreamers with wooden hearts. And every morning they awaken not with sound or sight, but with light speaking softly to their leaves, saying, "The world is here. Let us begin again." You can almost feel it now, can't you? That the next time you walk beneath a tree, you'll remember it is not just standing still, it is listening. Let's drift deeper into this silent dialogue between light and leaf. Beneath the emerald canopy, beyond what our eyes can measure, a choreography unfolds each day, subtle, sacred, and ancient. The tree does not just notice light, it remembers it. Light becomes memory, and memory shapes behavior. This isn't memory like ours, held in photographs or dreams, but a molecular memory, patterns etched into proteins and hormones, responding to cycles as old as Earth's turning. Every ray that touches the surface of a leaf leaves a trace behind, a biochemical whisper that guides the plant's next move. Inside the cells, tiny components called photoreceptors awaken with light. They are not eyes, but they see. Phytochrome is especially gifted. It senses red and far-red light and flips like a switch, signaling whether it's time to grow, bloom, or rest. When a seed lies underground, it senses darkness. But the moment light breaks through, phytochrome activates and the seedling rises. But how does it know which way to grow? It remembers the direction of warmth and the tilt of the earth. Plants aren't guessing. They are sensing, mapping, adjusting, all through chemical signals we are just beginning to understand. Even more delicate is the way leaves arrange themselves on branches. This isn't random. It's called phyllotaxis, a pattern that often follows the Fibonacci sequence, the same spirals seen in shells, hurricanes, and galaxies. Each leaf carefully finds its place, making sure it doesn't block the one below. It's as if the tree respects every leaf's need to see the sun. And when the light shifts with the seasons, the angles shift too. Some trees even rotate their leaves slightly throughout the day, tracking the sun's path across the sky. This is called heliotropism, sun following. You've seen it in sunflowers, but many plants do it quietly, every day, turning their leafy faces to the sky like slow-motion worshippers. Now imagine the forest not as a collection of trees, but as a community of listeners. One tree bends slightly to the east, another leans westward, each finding its niche in the shared light. There's no competition here, only a kind of gentle choreography. Even in crowded canopies, trees learn to share. They grow taller or thinner depending on what their neighbors do. They remember shade. They remember light. And sometimes they even help each other. Through underground networks of roots and fungi, what scientists call the mycorrhizal web, signals are sent. A tree shaded too long may receive sugars from a sunlit neighbor. This isn't kindness in the way we define it, but it is cooperation. It is survival made possible by shared knowledge of light. The more we study these responses, the more we uncover photoperiodism, for instance, is the ability of plants to measure the length of day and night. This is how trees know when to blossom in spring or when to drop their leaves in autumn. It's not the temperature that tells them, it's the light. A few minutes more or less, and entire forests begin to shift. Buds swell, flowers open, leaves fall. Entire life cycles are orchestrated by the invisible baton of sunlight. And astonishingly, these rhythms can be manipulated. Scientists in greenhouses can change the length of day artificially, and plants will respond accordingly. They bloom, grow, or rest, not because the air feels different, but because their light-sensing cells believe the seasons have changed. In some plants, this awareness becomes astonishingly precise. Take the tobacco plant. When the days begin to shorten past a certain threshold, it blooms at dusk. Not before, not after. Its molecular clock, tuned by photoreceptors and genetic signals, ensures it waits for the exact moment that suits pollinators best. Orchids, too, can count light hours so perfectly that they will not open until the day length matches a pattern stored within them. These are not minds at work, but they are intelligences, slow, silent, but undeniably aware. And then there are plants that live where light is scarce. Deep under the canopy, or near the poles where winter steals the sun, they've learned to stretch, to wait, to store. Some grow broader leaves to catch whatever light filters through. Others become still for months, conserving energy until the days lengthen again. These adaptations are not reactions alone. They are memories passed down through genes, shaped by generations of listening. A plant that thrives in dimness does so because its ancestors survived there. And so the legacy of light becomes embedded in every cell, every petal, every seed. In greenhouses and labs, when scientists remove light or add too much of it, they witness how sensitive plants truly are. A single hour of artificial light at night can delay flowering. A sudden flash can change the tilt of leaves, and some species exposed to irregular light become confused. They wilt, fail to bloom, or twist in unusual ways. It's as though their sense of time and place becomes unraveled. Because to plants, light is not just nourishment. It is a map, a clock, a language. Even seeds, long before they sprout, can perceive light. In certain species, seeds exposed to red light will germinate while those in darkness remain still. That first flicker of light is like a whisper saying, "It's safe now. Begin." And they do. Roots reach down, shoots reach up, all from a signal carried on invisible waves from the sun. And high above them, in alpine meadows or sunlit cliffs, there are plants whose very survival depends on detecting when the snow has melted and the sun has returned. They bloom quickly, sometimes within days, racing the clock before frost returns. These are not accidents. These are timed miracles performed by plants that have measured, remembered, and responded to light with astonishing grace. The more we look, the more we realize plants don't just live in light. They live by it. They mark their days, count their seasons, recall their shade, and stretch toward hope, all through the silent guidance of photons. They don't need eyes to see or ears to hear. They use their skin, their cells, their molecules. They turn sunlight into sugar, yes, but also into decisions, memories, and lifelines. So the next time you see a tree bending in the breeze or a flower turning slowly to face the dawn, remember, it's not just motion. It's awareness. It's light being read like poetry, one wave at a time. The whole forest is full of listening bodies, green minds without thoughts, moving to the rhythm of something older than sound. And somewhere in the hush of those branches, a story of light is still being told. Now let us return to the forest, where the final light of day filters gently through the canopy. The trees are preparing again, not in haste but in rhythm, the same way waves prepare to kiss the shore. As dusk settles, their chemistry shifts. The same molecules that once awakened with blue light now soften their tone. Phytochrome fades to its nighttime form, circadian clocks begin to wind down, and the leaves begin to rest. This is not sleep in the way animals know it, but a slowing, a waiting, a peace that comes when the conversation with sunlight ends until it begins again. What happens when light disappears for good? In winter, when days grow short and cold, trees in temperate forests go quiet. They withdraw their energy from leaves, sealing the green away. But even in this stillness, they are not forgetting the light. No, they are storing it. The sugars made during summer are tucked into roots and bark. Buds are formed, tiny and sealed, already containing the promise of spring. They do this before the snow arrives, long before the first frost. They read the declining light like a gentle goodbye. The shortening days tell them, "Get ready," and they listen. But not all plants sleep through the dark. Some bloom only at night. The moonflower, the evening primrose, the queen of the night cactus, these are flowers that unfurl when the sun goes to sleep. Their petals stretch under moonlight, fragrant and pale, attracting moths or bats with scents rather than colors. Why do they bloom in darkness? Because they have learned that night, too, is a kind of light. Dim, quiet, and sacred. Their cells are tuned to a different rhythm. Instead of morning blue, they awaken to silver and stars. Even in the absence of sunlight, there is still guidance. Deep in the ocean, where sunlight barely reaches, there are plants and algae that rely on the faintest shimmer. In the twilight zones of the sea, tiny organisms use what little light exists to perform photosynthesis at the edge of possibility. Here, light becomes rare and holy, and every photon is precious. And yet even there, life continues, quiet and unyielding. They measure the dimness, adjust their biochemistry, and carry on, listening to the faintest whispers of the sun. And what of plants grown in cities? In greenhouses and on windowsills. They too stretch toward the sun, even behind glass, but sometimes they become confused. Streetlights and glowing screens trick their senses. Constant brightness can disrupt their rhythms, delay their blooms, or prevent their sleep. In this way, plants remind us that artificial light is not always kind. They were shaped by the slow rise and fall of the sun, not the flicker of neon. And when that rhythm is disturbed, even the most patient leaves begin to falter. Still, resilience remains. Even in strange environments, aboard the International Space Station, for example, plants have grown. In zero gravity, with artificial lighting and no soil, they adapt. Astronauts have watched lettuce and mustard seedlings stretch toward LEDs, responding to wavelengths crafted to mimic the sun. It proves something beautiful, that even far from Earth, the memory of light remains. The plants do not forget what it means to reach, to grow, to believe that light will return. Now let us return to the forest one last time, where a seed is beginning to stir. Buried in soil, it senses the faint warmth above. Perhaps it feels the trembling light through the layers of earth. Perhaps it recalls the long sleep of winter. And then one morning it begins. A root pushes downward. A shoot climbs upward. It is not guessing. It is not hopping. It is following a map written in photons, decoding the language of light as its ancestors did. And one day that seed becomes a sapling. The sapling becomes a tree. The tree sends out branches, and the branches send out leaves. And each leaf is a sensor, a receiver, a storyteller. As the light falls upon it, it does not just drink it, it listens. And in that listening, it knows what to do: grow, rest, flower, wait, begin again. So when you walk among trees, remember this: they are not silent, they are not still. They are ancient interpreters of light, carrying secrets in their veins. The forests are not passive. They are alive with response. Each glimmer of sunlight carries a message, and the trees answer with color, movement, and memory. This is the secret life of plants, not hidden by shadows, but revealed by the way they listen to light. It is a life of quiet sensing, of rooted wisdom, of conversations with the sky. And it unfolds every day around us. Not in words, but in wavelengths. Not in shouts, but in whispers. So close your eyes and feel it: the hush of photosynthesis, the soft pulse of circadian rhythm, the turning of leaves toward dawn. They are listening. And now, perhaps, so are you. Beneath our feet lies a world not often seen, but always alive. The soil, dark and damp, is not silent. It is threaded with voices, with signals, with whispers that travel not through sound, but through chemistry and touch. Roots, those slender fingers of plants, move quietly through this world. They do not stay still. They grow, twist, sense, and respond. In the quiet underground, they find water, seek nutrients, dodge stones, and avoid danger, all without eyes or ears. They move by memory, by instinct, and by an ancient sense of place. And within this darkness, a network forms, one so vast and intelligent, it almost feels like thought. Imagine the tip of a root. It is soft and sensitive, always exploring. As it grows, it leaves behind a trail, a chemical signature, like footprints in the soil. This trail helps it avoid its own past path and seek out new directions. Nearby roots do the same, and when they meet, they don't clash blindly. Instead, they pause, sense, and often turn away. It's as if each root respects the space of another. This sensitivity allows roots from the same plant to avoid overcrowding and lets them grow more efficiently, covering ground like a well-planned map. The true wonder begins when roots meet others, not just from the same plant, but from others in the area. Through the soil, roots send out signals, molecules that float in the damp spaces between grains of dirt. These molecules carry information not in words but in chemical instructions. There is water this way. A pathogen is near. I need help. And nearby plants respond. They may grow toward the signal or away from it. They may change their chemistry or adjust their immune systems. This is not conversation as we know it. It is a chemical whisper, a quiet dialogue shared in silence. Even more astonishing is the connection between plants and fungi. Underground, roots often join with mycorrhizal fungi, tiny threads that weave through the soil like an invisible web. These fungi connect one plant to another, forming a vast communication network scientists call the Wood Wide Web. Through these fungal threads, a tree can send sugar to a seedling. A sick plant can warn others of incoming pests. A mother tree can nourish her young, even across meters of soil. This is not just sharing, it is listening, it is remembering, it is a kind of wisdom carried in molecules. When a tree is attacked by insects above ground, its roots change. They release warning chemicals. Through the fungal network, these signals reach neighboring trees, which respond by making their leaves bitter or toxic, a defense prepared before the danger arrives. This preemptive response is not instinct alone. It is a reaction to a message passed through a quiet, living web. And though no one speaks, the forest knows. Roots are also sensitive to sound, even if they have no ears. In lab experiments, roots have been shown to grow toward the sound of running water, not by chance but by sensing the subtle vibrations in the soil. These vibrations guide them toward moisture, helping them survive. The ground may seem silent to us, but to roots, it is filled with echoes, soft tremors of footsteps, rainfall, wind through trees. They feel these motions not as fear but as information. And they respond gently, adjusting their path like a river flowing around stones. In the darkness, roots also sense gravity. Even if you rotate a plant, its roots will always find their way down, guided by tiny particles that fall within their cells. This sense of direction, called gravitropism, is a quiet compass. No matter how the seed lands, the root knows where to go. It listens to the pull of earth and obeys. Some roots even work together in times of trouble. In dry seasons, trees with deep roots may share water with shallower-rooted neighbors. Through the fungal network, nutrients and moisture can be transferred, a silent act of support. It is not kindness, perhaps, in the way we know it, but it is something close. It is the understanding that survival is shared. There are stories, too, of stranger partnerships. In mangrove swamps, roots stretch out like fingers into salty, shifting tides. These roots not only anchor the trees but filter out salt, trap sediment, and create homes for fish and birds. In deserts, roots dive deep, searching for water that hides meters below. In rainforests, they form buttresses and stilts, bracing tall trees against storms. In all these places, roots adapt, shaping themselves to the world, changing their form to meet their needs. They do this not by thinking, but by sensing, recording, and adjusting over time. Roots also keep memories. When a plant is exposed to drought, its roots change. They become thicker, grow deeper, or spread wider. And when water returns, the plant remembers. In future dry spells, its roots respond faster. This memory is stored not in a brain, but in patterns of protein, hormone, and gene expression, a biological history written in the language of response. Even when we cut a tree, its roots may live on. In forests, stumps with no leaves or branches have been found still alive, kept alive by their neighbors through underground connections. Sugars are sent to the stump, keeping its tissues from dying. Why do healthy trees do this? Perhaps because they are kin. Perhaps because the forest is a memory shared through roots, and the death of one part is felt by the whole. And so, in the dark beneath us, where we rarely look, there is a world that listens, remembers, and communicates in silence. It is a world of gentle signals and patient movement. a world where roots whisper through soil and fungi, shaping the lives of plants above. The next time you walk across a meadow or rest beneath a tree, think of what lies below. The quiet threads stretching outward, sensing the warmth of your step, feeling the rhythm of your breath. They are not sleeping, they are listening. Let us drift deeper into the hidden world beneath the earth, where roots extend and intertwine like silent rivers of life. This underground realm is rich with stories of connection and memory, far beyond the simple image of roots merely anchoring a tree or drawing water. Roots are not solitary wanderers, they are social beings, communicating through chemical signals that drift slowly in the soil. These messages pass between plants, alerting neighbors to danger or opportunity. For example, when one plant suffers an insect attack, it releases compounds into the soil that neighboring plants detect, prompting them to boost their own defenses before the threat arrives. This remarkable ability to warn and prepare reveals an unseen network of cooperation woven into the fabric of the forest floor. Beneath the soil, roots and fungi form alliances that have persisted for millions of years. Mycorrhizal fungi wrap their fine threads around or inside roots, greatly expanding the plant's reach for nutrients and water. In exchange, plants share the sugars they create through photosynthesis. This ancient symbiosis builds a vast underground web connecting individual plants across species and distances. Sometimes called the Wood Wide Web, this network allows information, resources, and even distress signals to flow quietly among trees, shrubs, and flowers. It blurs the lines between individual organisms, making the forest function as a community rather than isolated beings. Roots are also remarkable sensors, capable of detecting not only water and nutrients but subtle changes in their environment. They respond to the chemistry of the soil, adjusting growth patterns to avoid harmful substances or seek out essential minerals. In drought conditions, roots may grow deeper or spread wider, adapting their shape to maximize access to scarce moisture. This plasticity reflects a memory embedded in genetic and biochemical signals, allowing plants to respond to past experiences and future predictions. The soil itself becomes a living archive, with chemical cues passed along to new generations of roots that remember where danger or abundance once lay. Surprisingly, roots can even respond to sound vibrations traveling through the earth. Studies show that certain frequencies stimulate root growth or guide roots toward water sources. Though they have no ears, roots feel these faint tremors as vibrations in the soil particles, a language of movement translated into growth directions. This sensitivity to physical cues enriches their understanding of the world, turning the seemingly silent ground into a place full of hidden voices and messages. The interaction of roots with microbes is equally vital. Beneficial bacteria living on or near roots fix nitrogen from the air, making it usable for plants. Others produce hormones or antibiotics that help roots grow or defend against pathogens. These microbial communities shift and change with seasons, soil types, and plant species, forming dynamic ecosystems that support plant health. Roots shape and are shaped by these microscopic partners, creating a complex dialogue of mutual benefit. This underground symphony balances growth and defense, cooperation and competition, all within a few centimeters of soil. Roots also serve as memory banks for environmental stress. When exposed to pollutants, drought, or extreme temperatures, roots adjust gene expression to survive and recover. Some changes persist even after the stress is gone, preparing the plant for future hardships. This biological memory helps plants endure fluctuating conditions in a way that feels almost sentient. It's a slow, chemical wisdom passed down through generations, encoded in molecular patterns rather than thoughts or feelings. In mangrove forests, roots perform astonishing feats. They cope with salty water by filtering salt out and excreting it through special glands. Their tangled limbs stabilize shifting mudflats and create habitats for fish and birds. The way mangrove roots breathe in oxygen despite being submerged is a marvel of adaptation, breathing through pores called lenticels and specialized tissues that carry air down to submerged roots. This interplay of structure and function reveals roots as architects, builders of worlds both above and below the waterline. In deserts, roots can grow tens of meters deep to reach underground water. They can remain dormant for years, waiting patiently for rare rains. When water arrives, roots respond explosively, growing rapidly to absorb the precious moisture. This patience and readiness is a form of memory and awareness, a silent understanding of scarcity and abundance that governs the plant's life cycle. Even in the harshest environments, roots listen closely to the subtle cues of earth and water, surviving where many others cannot. Roots are not merely passive responders. They actively shape their environment, altering soil composition, aeration, and microbial communities. As they grow, roots release organic acids that break down minerals, making nutrients more available. They create channels that improve soil drainage and oxygen flow, helping not just themselves but the entire ecosystem. This transformative power reflects roots' role as ecosystem engineers, shaping the foundation upon which forests, fields, and gardens thrive. The way roots grow and explore soil resembles a slow, thoughtful journey. They move around obstacles, slow near toxic areas, and advance eagerly where conditions are favorable. This movement is governed by gradients of nutrients, moisture, and chemical signals, a form of navigation that requires constant sensing and adjustment. Roots balance exploration and exploitation, searching widely yet focusing their growth where benefits are greatest. This balance is an elegant dance between survival and growth, played out quietly in the earth. Finally, consider the age-old wisdom embedded in root systems. Some trees, like the giant sequoias or ancient oaks, have roots that intertwine with those of their ancestors, connecting present and past generations. Through these shared networks, forests maintain resilience and memory over centuries, weathering storms, fires, and droughts. Roots are the silent keepers of this history, anchoring not just the tree but its legacy. They remind us that life's deepest stories are often written beneath our feet, in the dark, in the whispers of roots. As the quiet night settles over the earth, roots continue their gentle work beneath the surface, unseen but vital. The world above may rest, but below, roots grow and communicate in a timeless dance, forever intertwined with the soil and each other. This hidden life shapes the forests and fields, creating a foundation of strength and resilience that supports the vibrant green world above. When storms rage or droughts press down, it is these root networks that steady the trees, offering sustenance and connection through their vast, intricate web. Roots do not act alone. Through mycorrhizal networks, they link countless plants into communities where resources flow like slow rivers. These connections allow older trees to share energy with younger saplings, offering nourishment when sunlight is scarce. It is a subtle generosity, not conscious but woven into the chemistry of life. When a tree is weakened by disease or injury, neighbors may provide support, a silent kindness flowing through underground threads. This cooperation blurs the lines of individual survival, hinting at a deeper community woven by roots and fungi. When roots encounter obstacles, rocks, compacted soil, or dry patches, they do not force their way blindly. Instead, they adjust, exploring alternative paths with patient persistence. Their growth is a careful negotiation, sensing conditions and redirecting without haste. This adaptability reflects a wisdom born not of thought, but of countless generations evolving to listen and respond to their environment. Roots hold this memory in their cells, adjusting their behavior based on past experiences, a quiet intelligence embedded in the fabric of life. Roots also guard the health of the plant by defending against harmful microbes. When pathogens threaten, roots release chemical shields and summon beneficial bacteria to their aid. This microbial warfare is subtle and ongoing, a balancing act between attack and defense, cooperation and competition. The root zone becomes a battleground and sanctuary, where microscopic allies fight to protect their host. Through these interactions, roots maintain the delicate harmony necessary for growth and survival. In gardens and farms, humans have long sought to understand and work with roots. Techniques like crop rotation and cover cropping aim to nurture soil health, recognizing that roots influence the earth as much as the earth shapes roots. Ancient wisdom and modern science converge in this relationship, revealing the profound impact roots have on ecosystems. Healthy root systems improve soil structure, increase water retention, and foster biodiversity, creating resilient landscapes that sustain life. Even in the face of environmental change, roots show remarkable resilience. They can alter growth patterns, deepen into new layers of soil, and partner with different microbial communities to survive shifting conditions. This flexibility may hold keys to understanding how plants will cope with a changing climate. By listening to the language of roots and their networks, scientists hope to unlock strategies to protect forests and crops alike, preserving the delicate balance of life beneath our feet. As dawn breaks and light filters down through the canopy, roots continue their slow, steady work. They anchor the towering giants and nourish the smallest seedlings, weaving an invisible tapestry that connects the living world. Their whispers in the dark remind us that beneath the surface, life moves with quiet purpose and profound interconnectedness. Roots do not speak in words, but their language is clear, one of resilience, cooperation, and enduring life. So next time you stand beneath a tree or walk across a meadow, pause and imagine the bustling network below. Feel the silent communication, the chemical conversations, the slow growth and adaptation. In this hidden world, roots whisper the secrets of survival, the stories of connection, and the endless pulse of life itself. They remind us that even in darkness, there is movement, memory, and a deep, patient listening that shapes the world above. Leaves are the silent storytellers of the natural world, turning sunlight into life with a grace that feels almost magical. They unfold each spring like delicate hands, reaching out to catch the first light of dawn. But leaves do more than just soak up sunshine. They remember. Not like we do with photographs or words, but through their cells and chemistry, leaves carry a memory of seasons past, storms weathered, and sunrises witnessed. This memory shapes their every move, guiding growth, color, and even survival. Imagine a single leaf, fresh and green, shimmering under a gentle breeze. Inside it, millions of tiny factories called chloroplasts are at work, capturing light and converting it into energy through photosynthesis. This process is not mechanical but rhythmic, synchronized with the rising and setting of the sun. Leaves have internal clocks called circadian rhythms that tell them when to open pores for gas exchange and when to close them to conserve water. These rhythms are not fixed but adapt, responding to changes in day length and temperature, allowing leaves to live in tune with the world around them. But leaves also remember stress. When a storm batters a tree or a drought dries the soil, leaves adjust their chemistry to protect themselves. They produce special molecules that act like shields against damage. Some leaves may even warn other parts of the plant, releasing signals through the air or through sap that travel to roots or neighboring leaves. This communication is subtle and slow, but it is a form of memory, an ability to recognize past hardships and prepare for future ones. Over time, leaves record the story of their environment in their pigments and structures. The changing colors of autumn leaves are one such memory made visible. As days shorten and temperatures drop, chlorophyll fades, revealing reds, oranges, and yellows stored in the leaf cells. These colors tell a tale of preparation and rest, signaling the end of a growth cycle and the beginning of dormancy. The pigments themselves have protective roles, shielding the leaf from light damage as it recycles nutrients back to the tree. Leaves also adapt to different light conditions. In shaded forests, leaves become larger and thinner, maximizing surface area to catch scarce sunlight. In open fields, leaves may be smaller and thicker, built to withstand harsh midday rays. This plasticity is not random but guided by a history of light exposure, a memory embedded in the leaf cells. Leaves can adjust the orientation and angle of their surfaces to optimize light capture, tracking the sun's path with a quiet precision that feels almost intentional. Some plants take leaf memory even further. Evergreens, for example, keep their needles for years, storing information about environmental conditions over multiple seasons. These needles accumulate layers of chemicals that reveal droughts, temperature shifts, and pollution levels. Scientists can study these records like tree rings, reading the story of climate hidden in the leaf's tissues. This living archive is a testament to the resilience and adaptability of leaves, bearing witness to the changing world year after year. Leaves also interact with their surroundings in unexpected ways. Some release volatile organic compounds into the air, influencing the behavior of insects and even other plants. These chemical messages can attract pollinators or warn of herbivores nearby. In this way, leaves participate in a vast web of communication, extending their memory beyond their own cells to the entire ecosystem. Their chemistry becomes a language, subtle and fragrant, spoken in the breeze. The shapes and textures of leaves, too, are part of this memory. Over generations, leaves have evolved to suit their environments, smooth to shed water in rainforests, hairy to trap moisture in deserts, serrated to deter herbivores. These physical traits carry the history of adaptation, each vein and curve a record of survival. Even the patterns of veins inside leaves follow fractal geometries, maximizing strength and nutrient flow in a design refined by millions of years of evolution. On a microscopic level, leaves can remember light patterns. In experiments, plants exposed to irregular light cycles adjust their photosynthetic machinery to anticipate changes, increasing efficiency when light returns. This suggests that leaves hold a form of biological memory that helps them optimize energy capture and use. It is not conscious memory, but a cellular learning, encoded in proteins and genes that respond dynamically to the environment. And when leaves finally fall, they do not lose their story. Fallen leaves nourish the soil, returning minerals and organic matter that feed roots and microbes below. This cycle of life and death is part of the leaf's memory too, a gift to future growth. The rich carpet of leaves on a forest floor holds the echoes of seasons past, the whispers of sunlit days and starry nights. It is a living testament to the hidden lives of leaves and their enduring connection to the earth. So when you see a leaf fluttering in the breeze or resting quietly on the ground, remember it carries more than green pigment. It holds memories of light and shadow, drought and rain, wind and warmth. Leaves are living archives of life's rhythms, storytellers written in chlorophyll and cell walls, carrying the secret histories of plants with quiet dignity. Let us now drift deeper into the secret world held within leaves, where memory is woven not in words but in patterns of light and chemistry. Leaves live in constant dialogue with their environment, sensing changes in sunlight, temperature, and moisture. This dialogue is a slow unfolding, where each moment leaves a trace, a chemical footprint that influences what comes next. Within the cells, proteins shift their shapes in response to light's colors, turning genes on or off in a dance of biological rhythm. This shifting landscape of molecular change is a form of memory, enabling the leaf to anticipate dawn or brace against drought. This memory extends across days and seasons. Leaves adjust their internal clocks to the length of daylight, preparing for shifts in weather long before we notice them. When autumn approaches, subtle changes in hormone levels trigger the gradual breakdown of chlorophyll, revealing vibrant reds and golds beneath. These colors are not accidental but carefully timed signals that protect the leaf's tissues during nutrient recovery. The pigments themselves act as sunscreens, absorbing harmful wavelengths and preventing damage. In this way, leaves remember the cycle of light and darkness, orchestrating their colors with the precision of a seasoned artist. Leaves also respond to stress by modifying their chemical makeup. Under drought conditions, for instance, leaves increase the production of osmoprotectants, molecules that help cells retain water and maintain stability. This biochemical adjustment is a memory of hardship, a way for the plant to survive and recover. Remarkably, Some studies suggest that leaves can prime themselves and neighboring plants for future stress, releasing volatile organic compounds that prepare others for impending challenges. This airborne signaling expands the leaf's memory beyond its own cells, weaving a communal story of survival. The shapes and structures of leaves carry ancestral memories as well. Evolution has crafted forms perfectly suited to their environments, whether broad and thin for maximum light capture or needle-like to reduce water loss. The arrangement of stomata, tiny pores on the leaf surface, reflects a delicate balance between gas exchange and conservation. This anatomical memory guides the leaf's response to changing conditions, allowing it to open or close these pores in rhythm with the environment. In deserts, leaves may reduce stomata numbers to conserve water, while rainforest leaves keep them open longer to maximize photosynthesis. On a microscopic level, leaves remember light through photoreceptors like phytochromes and cryptochromes, which detect specific wavelengths and help set circadian rhythms. These proteins not only measure light, but help synchronize internal clocks with external cycles. This synchronization is vital for processes like photosynthesis, hormone production, and leaf movement. The leaf's ability to keep time with the sun is a fundamental form of memory that underpins plant health and growth. Some plants exhibit remarkable leaf memory in their responses to environmental cycles. For example, the sensitive plant closes its leaves when touched or exposed to darkness, reopening them with light. This movement is controlled by electrical signals and changes in cell turgor pressure, demonstrating a form of rapid memory and response. Similarly, sun-tracking leaves adjust their angles throughout the day to optimize light capture, guided by internal clocks tuned to the solar cycle. Leaves also serve as archives of environmental history. Researchers analyze leaf waxes and chemical residues to reconstruct past climates, pollution levels, and ecological changes. These biological records extend the leaf's memory beyond its lifespan, linking past and present. Fallen leaves contribute to soil formation and nutrient cycling, returning the stories of sunlight and weather to the earth. This cycle of growth, memory, decay, and renewal weaves the leaf's narrative into the broader tapestry of life. In forests, leaves communicate indirectly through the air, releasing scents that attract pollinators or repel herbivores. These volatile compounds are dynamic messages, changing with time of day and environmental conditions. Through this chemical language, leaves participate in a complex network of interaction that sustains entire ecosystems. Their memory is thus not isolated but shared, a collective intelligence expressed in fragrance and flavor. Even the patterns of veins within leaves carry information about nutrient flow and structural support. These fractal patterns maximize efficiency and strength, reflecting millions of years of adaptation. They guide the movement of water, sugars, and signals throughout the leaf, enabling it to function as a finely tuned organ. This internal architecture is a form of memory encoded in the leaf's form, an elegant blueprint for life. As light fades each evening, leaves gradually close their stomata and lower their metabolic activity, entering a restful state. This transition is governed by their circadian rhythms and influenced by the memory of day length and intensity. They conserve energy and prepare for the next dawn, participating in the steady pulse of the natural world. This daily cycle of activity and rest is a fundamental rhythm of leaf life, connecting them to the cycles of sun, moon, and seasons. In all these ways, leaves hold memories not conscious but profound and enduring. They carry the history of light, water, and life etched into their cells, guiding growth and survival with a silent wisdom. Each leaf is a living archive, a storyteller in green, whispering secrets of the world it inhabits. So next time you hold a leaf or watch one flutter in the breeze, remember it carries a hidden life, a memory as old as the sunlight it captures. As the seasons turn and the light begins to fade, leaves prepare for a final act, a graceful farewell to the year. This transformation is more than a change of color. It is a carefully orchestrated process of renewal and rest, guided by memories embedded deep within the leaf cells. When autumn arrives, the leaf senses the shortening days and cooler temperatures through shifts in light quality and duration. These signals trigger a cascade of molecular changes that lead to the breakdown of chlorophyll, the green pigment responsible for capturing sunlight. As chlorophyll fades, other pigments stored within the leaf emerge, painting the foliage in fiery reds, brilliant oranges, and warm yellows. These colors are not simply for show. They play protective roles, shielding the leaf from excess light and oxidative stress as it recycles nutrients back to the tree. This recycling is a vital process. The tree reabsorbs valuable nitrogen, phosphorus, and other elements before the leaf falls, ensuring its survival through the winter months. The leaf's transformation is thus a final act of generosity, a return of life to the roots and branches. Throughout this process, leaves continue to communicate with the rest of the plant. They release hormones such as abscisic acid and ethylene, which regulate the timing of leaf drop and prepare the tree for dormancy. This hormonal dialogue is a form of memory, a molecular conversation that ensures the plant transitions smoothly through the seasons. The formation of the abscission layer at the leaf's base gradually seals the connection, allowing the leaf to detach without harming the tree. Once on the forest floor, fallen leaves do not lose their stories. They decompose slowly, feeding the soil with organic matter that nourishes roots and microbes below. This nutrient cycling is a continuation of the leaf's life, its memory woven into the earth. The rich humus formed from leaf litter supports new growth, completing the cycle of life and death. Each leaf becomes a storyteller, its nutrients whispering secrets to the soil, shaping the forest's future. The memory hidden in leaves also extends to their interactions with insects and other animals. Leaves produce a variety of chemical defenses, bitter tannins, sticky resins, or toxic alkaloids, to deter herbivores. These defenses are not static. They can be upregulated in response to damage or stress, reflecting a form of induced memory. Some leaves even attract predators of their herbivores, releasing volatile compounds that summon parasitic wasps or birds. This dynamic defense strategy reveals leaves as active participants in their own protection and the balance of ecosystems. On a microscopic scale, leaves respond to pathogens with immune-like reactions. They can recognize invading bacteria or fungi and activate defense genes, producing antimicrobial compounds and reinforcing cell walls. This localized memory allows the leaf to contain infections and prevent spread. Moreover, some plants exhibit systemic acquired resistance, where exposure to a pathogen in one leaf primes the entire plant for enhanced defense. This systemic memory is a form of biological learning, an adaptation that improves survival. Leaves also adapt to environmental challenges such as pollution and climate change. Exposure to heavy metals or increased ultraviolet radiation can induce protective responses, including changes in pigment composition and antioxidant production. These adaptations reflect a biological memory of stress, enabling leaves to cope with new or intensified threats. Over generations, such challenges may drive evolutionary changes in leaf structure and chemistry, preserving resilience in shifting environments. The patterns of leaf arrangement and venation further tell stories of optimization and survival. Spiral phyllotaxy, common in many plants, maximizes light capture and reduces shading between leaves. Vein patterns ensure efficient transport of water and nutrients while providing mechanical support. These geometric arrangements are the result of millions of years of evolution, encoded in the plant's DNA as a blueprint for success. Each leaf is thus a living archive of natural history, carrying the legacy of adaptation. As night falls and darkness envelops the landscape, leaves enter a state of rest. Their metabolic activities slow stomata close to conserve water, and energy use is minimized. This nocturnal rhythm, regulated by circadian clocks synchronized with environmental cues, reflects the leaf's deep connection to the cycles of day and night. Even in darkness, leaves maintain a vigilant awareness, poised to awaken with the returning sun. In this gentle cycle of awakening, growth, defense, and rest, leaves reveal their hidden lives rich with memory, communication, and resilience. They are not mere passive parts of plants but dynamic organs that sense, adapt, and interact with the world around them. Through their silent stories, leaves connect the past with the present, sunlight with shade, life with death. They remind us that even the smallest parts of nature hold profound mysteries waiting to be discovered. So the next time you catch a leaf drifting on the wind or resting beneath your feet, remember that it carries the memory of light and life. It holds within its veins the echoes of countless days and nights, storms and sunrises. It is a quiet witness to the rhythm of the earth, a storyteller in green, and a keeper of secrets written in the language of nature. Hidden within every plant is an orchestra of tiny messengers called hormones, invisible dancers that guide growth, response, and survival with silent precision. These chemical signals move quietly through cells and tissues, carrying instructions that shape the plant's life from root tip to highest leaf. Hormones do not rush or shout. They glide softly, balancing growth and rest, defense and reproduction, in a slow and steady dance as old as life itself. Imagine a seed buried beneath the soil, waiting for the right moment to awaken. It does not decide with thought but responds to whispers of hormones that tell it when conditions are favorable. One such messenger, called gibberellin, encourages the seed to break dormancy, nudging the embryo to grow and push upward toward the light. Another hormone, abscisic acid, holds the seed in quiet rest when times are harsh, conserving energy until warmth and moisture return. This interplay of signals is a conversation without words, a delicate balance between caution and courage. As the seedling emerges, hormones continue their dance, guiding the formation of roots and shoots. Auxins, a class of hormones named for their growth-promoting power, gather at the tips of shoots, encouraging cells to elongate and bend toward light. This bending, called phototropism, allows plants to reach for sunlight with graceful arcs, as if performing a slow, deliberate ballet. Auxins also move downward, influencing root growth and branching, coordinating the plant's shape with its environment. But hormones do more than direct growth. They help plants respond to the world around them. When a leaf is damaged by an insect, jasmonic acid springs into action, signaling the plant to produce chemicals that deter herbivores or attract predators of the attackers. Salicylic acid, another hormone, helps plants defend against pathogens, activating immune responses that protect tissues from harm. These defense dances are subtle and intricate, balancing protection with energy conservation. The timing of flowering, a pivotal moment in a plant's life, is also choreographed by hormones. Florigen, a hormone produced in leaves, travels to buds to initiate blooming when days reach a certain length or when the plant reaches maturity. This signal connects the environment with reproduction, ensuring flowers open at the right season to attract pollinators. Gibberellins also influence flowering, working in harmony with other hormones to regulate the plant's transition from growth to reproduction. Hormones also regulate aging and death in plants. Ethylene, often called the aging hormone, triggers processes like fruit ripening and leaf fall. Its release is a soft farewell, guiding plants through cycles of renewal and decay. This hormone's gentle influence ensures that plants shed leaves before winter or ripen fruits when animals are ready to disperse seeds. Ethylene's dance is a reminder that endings are part of life's rhythm. At a cellular level, hormone signals are received by receptors that translate chemical messages into changes in gene expression. This molecular dialogue influences everything from cell division to pigment production, coordinating complex processes with elegant simplicity. Hormones move through the plant's vascular system, traveling in streams of sap, crossing cellular boundaries, and interacting with other signals to fine-tune responses. Environmental cues influence hormone production and movement, linking the plant's internal world with external conditions. Light quality, temperature, water availability, and mechanical stimuli all shape hormone dynamics. For example, drought increases abscisic acid levels, prompting stomata to close and reduce water loss. Touch or wind can alter auxin distribution, strengthening stems and adjusting growth patterns. This responsiveness is a form of memory, allowing plants to adapt to changing conditions with remarkable flexibility. Hormones also mediate communication between plants and other organisms. Root-secreted hormones influence soil microbes, shaping beneficial communities that assist nutrient uptake or protect against disease. Above ground, volatile hormones released into the air can signal neighbors about herbivore attacks or environmental stress. This chemical networking extends the dance of hormones beyond the individual plant, weaving a complex web of interaction. The study of plant hormones has revealed their pivotal role in agriculture and horticulture. By manipulating hormone levels, humans can influence flowering times, fruit development, and growth forms. Understanding these messengers has led to advances in crop yield and stress tolerance, showing how deeply connected humans are to the silent dance within plants. Throughout all stages of life, hormones choreograph a plant's journey with quiet grace. They balance growth with defense, rest with activity, individuality with community. This dance is a slow, continuous flow, shaped by evolution and environment, played out in cells invisible to the naked eye but vital to life. Hormones are the unseen conductors of the plant world, guiding every movement with subtlety and purpose. So next time you watch a vine curl or a flower open, remember the dance within. Behind every movement is a symphony of chemical signals, a language of life that connects leaf, root, and stem. The dance of plant hormones is a story of connection and response, a gentle rhythm that has carried plants through eons and will continue to do so, long after we have turned away. Let us drift deeper into the quiet world of plant hormones, where tiny chemical messengers choreograph life's slow dance with astonishing precision. These hormones are the language of growth and response, weaving signals through cells and tissues in rhythms that echo the cycles of sun and season. Each molecule carries a message, sometimes whispering encouragement to grow, sometimes a warning to defend, and sometimes a gentle command to rest. The harmony of these signals is the foundation of plant life, invisible yet essential. Auxins, for example, are master dancers in this silent ballet. Produced primarily in shoot tips, they travel downward, influencing cell elongation and guiding roots to grow downward into the earth. This hormone's distribution shapes the plant's form, ensuring balance between root and shoot. When light shines unevenly, auxins accumulate on the shaded side, causing cells there to stretch more and bend the plant toward the sun. This elegant response, phototropism, is a testament to the plant's ability to sense and adapt to its environment through hormonal cues. Gibberellins add another layer to this dance. These hormones promote stem elongation, seed germination, and flowering, often acting as a spark that shifts the plant from dormancy to growth. In seeds, gibberellins signal the end of rest, awakening the embryo to begin its journey upward. In flowering plants, they influence the timing and size of blooms, ensuring reproduction aligns with favorable conditions. Gibberellins work closely with other hormones, creating a complex network of checks and balances. Abscisic acid, ABA, in contrast, is a hormone of caution and conservation. When water is scarce, ABA levels rise, prompting stomata to close and reduce water loss. This hormone helps plants endure drought and stress, orchestrating survival strategies at cellular and systemic levels. ABA also plays a role in seed dormancy, holding seeds in quiet rest until the environment signals it is safe to grow. This balance between growth and restraint is central to plant resilience. Ethylene, often called the aging hormone, governs processes like fruit ripening, leaf abscission, and response to mechanical stress. Its release is triggered by developmental cues or environmental factors, guiding the plant through cycles of change. Ethylene's gaseous nature allows it to diffuse easily, affecting nearby tissues and even neighboring plants. In fruit, ethylene initiates ripening by breaking down cell walls and converting starches to sugars, transforming hard, sour produce into sweet, edible treasures. Jasmonic acid and salicylic acid are crucial players in plant defense. When under attack by insects or pathogens, these hormones activate immune responses, producing chemicals that deter herbivores or inhibit microbial growth. They also regulate systemic acquired resistance, a kind of immune memory that prepares uninfected parts of the plant for potential threats. This chemical defense network exemplifies the plant's ability to sense danger and respond proactively. The interplay between these hormones is complex and dynamic. They influence each other's production and activity in feedback loops that finely tune plant development and responses. For example, auxins can stimulate ethylene production, which in turn can inhibit auxin transport, affecting growth patterns. Gibberellins and abscisic acid often act in opposition, balancing growth promotion with stress responses. This hormonal crosstalk creates a responsive and adaptable system. Environmental factors shape hormone levels and actions. Light, temperature, water availability, and mechanical stimuli all influence hormone synthesis and signaling. For instance, wind or touch can increase ethylene production, strengthening stems and inducing protective responses. Shade conditions alter auxin distribution, leading to elongation as plants compete for light. These adaptations showcase the plant's ability to integrate external cues into internal hormonal regulation. Roots also produce hormones that communicate with shoots, coordinating whole plant responses. Cytokinins, synthesized in roots, promote cell division and leaf expansion, traveling upward through the xylem. This hormonal dialogue ensures balanced growth and resource allocation between above and below ground parts. The exchange of signals between roots and shoots exemplifies the integrated nature of plant life. Plant hormones also mediate interactions with other organisms. They influence root exudates that shape microbial communities, attract pollinators, or repel herbivores. Volatile hormones released into the air can warn neighboring plants of herbivore attacks, inducing defensive responses. This chemical communication extends the plant's influence beyond itself, participating in ecosystem dynamics. Understanding plant hormones has practical implications. Agricultural practices often manipulate hormone levels to improve crop yields, control ripening, or enhance stress tolerance. Synthetic hormones and inhibitors are tools in horticulture and forestry, reflecting humanity's growing knowledge of the plant hormonal dance. This connection highlights how deeply intertwined human life is with the silent rhythms of plants. In all these ways, plant hormones compose a continuous, delicate dance, a language of life expressed in chemistry and movement. They guide each phase of growth and response, weaving together signals that shape the plant's form and fate. This dance is slow and steady, a timeless rhythm that sustains the green world around us. Next time you watch a leaf unfurl or a flower bloom, remember the hidden choreography of hormones within. Their quiet messages guide every movement, every change, every breath of plant life. The dance of plant hormones is a story of connection, resilience, and silent grace, unfolding in the stillness beneath the sun. As twilight softens the sky, the dance of plant hormones shifts toward rest and renewal, preparing the plant for the quiet cycles ahead. Ethylene's gentle release signals aging processes, guiding leaves to yellow and fall in a graceful farewell, while abscisic acid rises to help conserve resources as dormancy approaches. These hormonal whispers orchestrate the plant's retreat, a slow closing of chapters that ensures survival through the coming seasons. Yet, even in rest, the plant remains alert. Hormones maintain a delicate balance, poised to awaken growth when conditions turn favorable once again. Seeds held dormant by abscisic acid await the warming soil and moisture, ready to burst forth under the coaxing touch of gibberellins. This interplay of signals is a biological memory of seasons past and promise of future bloom. The dance of hormones extends beyond individual plants, weaving a web of interaction through the ecosystem. Volatile organic compounds act as airborne messengers, alerting neighbors to herbivore attacks or environmental stresses. This chemical communication fosters a community response, enhancing collective defense and resilience. Plants, though rooted in place, participate in a silent conversation carried on the wind. In agriculture and horticulture, harnessing the power of plant hormones has transformed cultivation. Farmers apply synthetic auxins to stimulate rooting, use ethylene inhibitors to delay ripening, and manipulate gibberellins to control plant size and flowering time. These practices reflect humanity, deepening understanding of the hormonal dance, blending ancient natural rhythms with modern science to feed and sustain growing populations. Research continues to unveil the complexity of hormonal networks. Crosstalk between pathways reveals how plants integrate multiple signals to make nuanced decisions, balancing growth, defense, and reproduction. Discoveries of new hormones and their roles expand our appreciation of plants, silent intelligence, and adaptability. The dance of plant hormones is a testament to life's resilience and interconnectedness. Through these invisible messengers, plants perceive their environment, communicate with each other, and adapt to challenges. This continuous, gentle choreography sustains the green world that nurtures all life on Earth. So when you next observe a blooming flower, a swaying stalk, or a falling leaf, consider the hidden dance within. A symphony of chemical signals guiding every movement, every breath, every moment. The dance of plant hormones is the quiet heartbeat of nature, a story of connection, balance, and endless renewal. In the hush of a garden or the quiet of a meadow, flowers open their delicate petals with a knowing that feels almost magical. They do not wake by chance but follow a hidden clock, a rhythm that has been finely tuned over millions of years. This sense of time guides their blooming, ensuring that petals unfurl when pollinators are near, when the weather is right, and when the seasons beckon. Flowers know the time not with eyes or hands but through subtle signals woven into their very cells. At the heart of this timing lies the plant's internal clock, a circadian rhythm that keeps track of day and night, light and dark. Like the ticking of a gentle metronome, this clock sets the pace for daily activities, from opening and closing flowers to scent release and nectar production. This rhythm is synchronized with the sun's cycle, allowing flowers to align their bloom with the busy hours of pollinators like bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds. The dance is delicate and precise, a conversation between flower and pollinator carried out in time. But flowers also respond to longer cycles, the changing length of days across seasons, known as photoperiodism. Some flowers bloom only when days reach a certain length, whether longer in summer or shorter in autumn. This sensitivity to light duration is crucial for survival, ensuring that reproduction happens at the most favorable times. Plants measure these changes through photoreceptors in their leaves, which send signals to buds, telling them when to awaken and blossom. This mechanism allows plants to anticipate seasons and prepare accordingly. Beyond light, temperature plays a vital role in flower timing. Many species require a period of cold, called vernalization, before they can bloom. This chilling memory ensures that flowers do not open prematurely during a brief warm spell in winter, protecting their delicate reproductive parts from frost. The experience of cold changes gene expression in buds, a biological memory that waits for the right moment to release growth. This interplay of light and temperature guides flowers through the cycles of life. Within the flower itself, hormones orchestrate blooming. Gibberellins and florigen act as signals to promote petal growth and opening, while abscisic acid can delay flowering under stress. These hormones respond to environmental cues and internal clocks, weaving a complex tapestry of regulation. The balance of these signals determines when and how flowers bloom, shaping their form and function with exquisite sensitivity. Flowers also carry memories of previous blooms. In some species, the timing of flowering can be influenced by the plant's age or past experiences. Perennial plants often require several years before they flower, building energy and memories in their tissues. Some flowers can adjust their blooming schedules in response to repeated stress or environmental changes, demonstrating a form of biological learning. These memories help plants optimize their reproductive success over time. The timing of flower opening is also closely linked to pollinator behavior. Many flowers open or close their petals in sync with the activity patterns of their preferred pollinators. Morning glory flowers, for example, open at dawn to greet early bees, while evening primroses bloom as night falls, attracting moths and bats. This synchronization maximizes pollination efficiency, a silent partnership shaped by millions of years of evolution. Fragrance release from flowers is timed as well. Many plants emit scents only during specific hours, guiding pollinators through a fragrant trail. This timing conserves energy and focuses attention when pollinators are most active. The scent molecules themselves may be regulated by the plant's internal clock and environmental conditions, adding another layer to the intricate timing of flowering. Beyond pollination, flower timing influences seed production and dispersal. Coordinated flowering ensures that seeds mature under optimal conditions, increasing the chances of survival for the next generation. Plants have evolved diverse strategies to time their reproductive cycles, balancing risk and reward in changing environments. This dynamic timing is a testament to the adaptability and resilience of plant life. The molecular mechanisms behind flower timing continue to fascinate scientists. Genes controlling circadian rhythms, photoreceptors detecting light quality, and hormones mediating growth form an interconnected network. Understanding these processes not only reveals the beauty of nature's timing, but also offers practical applications in agriculture and horticulture, where controlling flowering time can improve yields and extend growing seasons. In the quiet moments when a flower opens its petals, there is a story of time and memory unfolding. It is a story of sunlight and shadow, warmth and cold, growth and rest, a story written in molecules and rhythms. Flowers, though rooted and still, live in a world of movement and change, their blooms marking the passage of days and seasons with silent grace. So when you watch a flower open in the morning or close at dusk, remember the hidden clocks that guide its life. Remember the millions of years of evolution that have shaped this delicate dance with time. Flowers know the time not by chance but by a deep, silent wisdom, a rhythm as old as the earth itself. Now, let us wander deeper into the secret rhythms that govern when flowers open their petals and release their fragrances. This timing is not random, but the result of intricate conversations between light, temperature, hormones, and genetic memory. Flowers sense subtle changes in their environment, shifts in daylight length, temperature drops, even the quality of light filtered through leaves, and respond with a quiet precision that ensures survival and reproduction. These signals travel through the plant like whispers, weaving a story of anticipation and readiness. Photoreceptors such as phytochromes and cryptochromes play leading roles in this story. They detect different wavelengths of light, red, far red, blue, and interpret these signals to measure the passing of days and seasons. As daylight lengthens or shortens, these molecules trigger cascades of gene activation and repression, effectively telling the flower when it is time to awaken or wait. This mechanism allows plants to align their blooms with pollinators, availability, seasonal weather patterns, and optimal conditions for seed development. Temperature's role is equally vital. Vernalization, the process by which some plants require prolonged exposure to cold before flowering, is a remarkable example of environmental memory. The cold changes gene expression, altering chromatin structure in cells and silencing growth repressors, effectively unlocking the plant's ability to bloom when warmth returns. This ensures flowers do not open prematurely during brief warm spells in winter, protecting delicate reproductive organs from frost damage. Hormones such as floragen, a flowering signal produced in leaves, then travel to buds to initiate blooming. Gibberellins complement this by promoting cell division and elongation, pushing petals outward in a slow, unfolding dance. Meanwhile, abscisic acid may act as a brake under stress, delaying flowering to conserve resources. The balance among these hormones is a dynamic conversation that integrates internal and external cues, fine-tuning the flower's timing. Many plants also display plasticity in flowering time, adjusting to environmental changes with remarkable flexibility. Some species can flower earlier or later in response to drought, nutrient availability, or light intensity. This ability reflects a form of biological memory, where past experiences shape future responses. The underlying molecular networks integrate these signals, ensuring that flowering aligns with the plant's health and environmental conditions. The synchronization of flower opening with pollinator behavior is a marvel of coevolution. Flowers such as the morning glory open at dawn to attract early pollinators like bees, while evening primroses bloom at dusk for nocturnal visitors such as moths and bats. This timing maximizes reproductive success by ensuring pollen transfer when pollinators are most active. Fragrance release often coincides with these opening times, adding an olfactory guide to the visual display. On a microscopic level, flowers exhibit circadian control over cellular processes involved in petal expansion, pigment synthesis, and nectar secretion. These rhythms coordinate the physical and chemical changes required for blooming, linking internal clocks to environmental time cues. Studies have shown that disruptions to circadian genes can alter flowering time and reduce reproductive success, highlighting the critical role of temporal regulation. Flowering also impacts ecological interactions beyond pollination. Coordinated flowering among plant populations ensures that seed production and dispersal occur under favorable conditions, supporting ecosystem stability. In some species, mass flowering events synchronize to overwhelm seed predators, enhancing survival chances, a strategy known as predator satiation. This collective timing is yet another layer in the complex story of flowers knowing the time. Researchers continue to explore the genetic basis of flowering time control. Genes such as CONSTANS and flowering locus T act as key regulators, integrating photoperiod and temperature signals. Understanding these pathways not only unravels nature's timing secrets, but offers tools for agriculture, enabling crop adaptation to new climates and extended growing seasons. The story of flower timing is one of harmony between plant and environment, shaped by ancient rhythms and molecular whispers. It reveals a world where plants, though rooted and silent, engage in dynamic dialogues with light, temperature, and each other. Their blooms mark not just beauty but precise timing honed by evolution. So, as petals gently open to greet the sun or moon, remember the complex dance of signals that made that moment possible. Flowers know the time through a symphony of molecular clocks, hormones, and environmental memories, a quiet wisdom that connects them to the cycles of life on Earth. As the days slowly lengthen or shorten, flowers prepare for their moment to bloom, guided by an ancient rhythm encoded deep within their cells. This internal timing mechanism is akin to a biological calendar, measuring not just hours but the subtle changes in the quality and quantity of light. Photoreceptors, sensitive to different wavelengths, detect shifts in day length, triggering cascades of molecular signals that awaken dormant buds. The anticipation within the plant builds slowly, as if counting down to a secret event, ensuring that flowering aligns perfectly with the seasons. Temperature adds another dimension to this preparation. Vernalization, the exposure to prolonged cold, acts as a critical checkpoint for many species, ensuring that flowering does not occur too early. The cold changes chromatin structure, releasing genes that had been silenced, unlocking the potential for growth. This process is a form of environmental memory, allowing plants to remember the winter chill and respond only when conditions are truly favorable. The balance between light and temperature cues creates a finely tuned system, a dance of signals guiding flowers through time. Within the flower bud, hormones coordinate the physical unfolding of petals. Phloragen, produced in response to photoperiod cues, travels from leaves to buds, initiating flowering. Gibberellins promote cell division and expansion, pushing petals outward in a slow, graceful bloom. Meanwhile, abscisic acid can delay flowering under stress, conserving resources until the environment improves. This hormonal interplay is a conversation of balance and timing, ensuring that blooming occurs when success is most likely. Pollination strategies further shape flower timing. Flowers synchronize opening times with the activity patterns of their preferred pollinators, creating partnerships forged over millions of years. Morning glories open at dawn to attract bees, while evening primroses bloom at dusk for moths and bats. These precise timings maximize pollen transfer and reproductive success. Floral scents are often released in tandem, enhancing attraction through olfactory signals. The choreography between flower and pollinator is a silent dialogue in time. Flowering timing also impacts seed development and dispersal. Coordinated flowering within populations ensures that seeds mature under optimal conditions, supporting survival and growth. Mass flowering events, seen in some tropical species, overwhelm seed predators, increasing the chances that some seeds escape consumption. This strategy reflects an evolved understanding of timing as a tool for survival, woven into the life cycles of plants. Molecular studies reveal a complex network of genes regulating flowering time. CONSTANS and flowering locus T integrate environmental signals to control the transition from vegetative growth to flowering. Mutations in these genes alter flowering schedules, affecting plant fitness. Understanding these pathways offers insights into plant adaptation and resilience, with applications in agriculture and horticulture to optimize crop yields. Environmental stresses can modify flowering timing as well. Drought, nutrient availability, and temperature fluctuations influence hormone levels and gene expression, allowing plants to adjust bloom times in response to challenges. This plasticity is a form of memory and learning, enabling plants to navigate changing climates and environments. The daily opening and closing of flowers, governed by circadian rhythms, optimize resource use and pollinator visits. Cellular processes regulating petal movement, pigment synthesis, and nectar secretion follow these internal clocks. Disruptions to circadian genes can reduce reproductive success, highlighting the importance of temporal regulation. In ecosystems, flower timing shapes interactions with other species, influencing food webs and biodiversity. The timing of bloom affects pollinator populations, seed dispersers, and herbivores, creating cascading effects throughout communities. This interconnectedness underscores the significance of flower timing beyond individual plants. As you observe flowers opening to greet the day or closing for the night, reflect on the hidden networks guiding these moments. The interplay of light, temperature, hormones, and genes composes a symphony of timing, a testament to the intricate dance between plants and their environment. Flowers know the time through a language of molecular rhythms and environmental memories, a quiet wisdom that has blossomed over millions of years. Beneath the forest floor lies a hidden world pulsing with silent electricity, a network alive with subtle currents flowing through roots, fungi, and soil. This electric forest is not made of wires or machines, but of living cells and microscopic connections, where signals travel in pulses of energy that guide growth, communication, and survival. These quiet electrical conversations weave a complex web, connecting trees and plants in ways we are only beginning to understand. Imagine stepping into a forest and feeling the faint hum beneath your feet, not sound, but energy moving through an unseen network. Roots of different plants reach into the soil, touching and intertwining with filaments of fungi called mycorrhizae. Through these fungal threads, electrical impulses travel, transmitting messages about nutrient availability, water stress, or the presence of pests. This network acts like a nervous system, a slow and steady current of information that binds the forest into a living whole. Plants generate electric potentials across their cell membranes, created by ions moving in and out of cells. These electrical signals can travel along the plant's tissues, triggering responses like growth direction changes, stomatal openings, or defense mechanisms. When a leaf is damaged, an electrical signal can alert distant parts of the plant, preparing them for potential threats. This internal signaling is rapid and precise, a language of pulses that coordinates the plant's activities. Beyond individual plants, the mycorrhizal network acts as a superhighway for electrical and chemical signals. Through this underground web, a stressed tree can send warnings to neighbors, prompting them to activate defenses before an insect attack arrives. Carbon, nitrogen, and other nutrients are also exchanged, maintaining balance and resilience in the community. This cooperation, guided in part by electrical signals, blurs the line between individual and ecosystem. Electrical phenomena in plants also influence growth and development. Voltage changes across membranes can regulate cell division and elongation, shaping roots and shoots. Experiments have shown that applying electrical currents can stimulate plant growth or alter patterns of development, revealing how deeply electricity is woven into life's fabric. These currents operate on scales both microscopic and vast, from single cells to sprawling forests. The electric field around roots also affects soil microbes, influencing their behavior and interactions. Beneficial bacteria may be attracted or repelled by these fields, shaping the composition of the root microbiome. This electrochemical environment helps determine nutrient cycling, disease resistance, and plant health. In this way, electricity serves as a bridge between plants and the microbial world beneath the soil. Plants can also detect and respond to external electrical stimuli. Natural sources like lightning strikes, static charges, or even the movement of animals generate electrical fields that plants sense. These fields can trigger changes in growth patterns, gene expression, and defense responses. This sensitivity to electricity adds another layer to how plants perceive and interact with their environment. Recent research suggests that bioelectrical signals may play roles in plant memory and learning. Electrical patterns associated with environmental stress can persist, priming plants for future challenges. This electrical memory complements chemical and genetic responses, contributing to the plant's ability to adapt and survive. Understanding these signals opens new frontiers in plant biology and ecology. The forest's electric network extends beyond roots and fungi. Above ground, leaves and stems carry electrical currents that regulate photosynthesis, water transport, and environmental sensing. These currents fluctuate with light intensity, temperature, and humidity, reflecting the plant's ongoing dialogue with the atmosphere. The entire organism functions as a dynamic electrical system, tuned to the rhythms of nature. In ancient times, humans may have sensed this electric pulse in forests as a sacred energy, a life force animating the woods. Today, science reveals the complexity of these bioelectrical processes, connecting biology with physics in a profound way. The electric forest beneath our feet is a testament to nature's hidden symphony, a network of energy and information sustaining life in silence. Next time you walk through a forest, pause and imagine the slow flow of electricity beneath the soil, the pulses connecting trees and plants in a web of communication. The electric forest hums with life, a hidden dance of energy that shapes the green world above. Though silent and unseen, it is a vital heartbeat of nature, reminding us of the deep connections that bind all living things. Let us drift deeper into the electric underworld of the forest, where roots and fungi pulse with quiet energy, weaving a web of connection beneath the soil. This underground network is a realm of subtle bioelectrical signals, where messages travel not with sound or sight but with shifts in voltage and ion flow. These signals link individual plants into a collective intelligence, allowing them to share resources, warn of danger, and adapt to changing conditions. It is a world alive with invisible currents, a silent language of survival. The mycorrhizal fungi play a central role in this electric conversation. Their fine threads penetrate root cells, forming bridges through which electrical impulses and nutrients flow. These connections expand a plant's sensory reach far beyond its own roots, creating a shared nervous system that integrates information across species. When one tree suffers from drought or insect attack, the fungal network carries electrical and chemical alerts to neighbors, triggering defensive responses even before the threat arrives. This coordinated defense system is a form of collective memory, a slow, steady pulse of life. Within individual plants, electrical signals coordinate rapid responses to stimuli. When a leaf is wounded, ion channels open, generating electrical waves that travel through tissues, activating genes and mobilizing defenses. These bioelectrical events occur in milliseconds, demonstrating that plants possess rapid communication systems once thought exclusive to animals. The plant's electrical network enables it to respond swiftly to environmental challenges, from herbivory to mechanical stress. The electric field around roots influences microbial communities as well. Beneficial bacteria and fungi respond to voltage gradients, adjusting their behavior and metabolism. This electrochemical environment shapes the root microbiome, fostering symbiotic relationships that enhance nutrient uptake and disease resistance. Electrical interactions thus mediate complex ecological partnerships, linking microscopic life with the green giants above. Plants are also sensitive to external electrical fields generated by natural phenomena. Lightning strikes, static electricity, and the movement of animals create fluctuating fields that plants detect and respond to. These stimuli can alter gene expression, growth patterns, and defense mechanisms, adding another dimension to plant perception. Sensitivity to electrical cues expands the plant's awareness of its environment beyond light and chemical signals. Bioelectrical signaling contributes to plant memory and learning. Electrical patterns induced by stress can persist, priming plants for faster or stronger responses upon re-exposure. This electrical priming complements hormonal and genetic adaptations, enabling plants to remember past events and prepare for future challenges. Understanding these mechanisms opens new avenues for enhancing plant resilience and productivity. Above ground, electrical currents regulate essential physiological processes. Photosynthesis, stomatal opening, and water transport involve changes in membrane potentials and ion fluxes. These electrical dynamics fluctuate with environmental factors such as light intensity and humidity, reflecting the plant's ongoing interaction with its surroundings. The entire organism functions as an integrated electrical system, tuned to the cycles of nature. The ancient wisdom of forests may have sensed this bioelectrical pulse as a life force, a sacred energy animating the woods. Modern science now reveals the complexity and importance of these electrical networks, bridging biology and physics in the study of life. The electric forest beneath our feet is a hidden symphony of energy and information, sustaining ecosystems with silent rhythms. When next you walk among trees, imagine the slow, steady flow of electricity beneath the soil, connecting roots and fungi in a web of communication. This electric forest hums with life, an unseen heartbeat linking every living thing. It reminds us that beneath the surface, life moves in pulses of energy and connection, a silent dance sustaining the world above. As night falls and the forest quiets, the electric currents beneath the soil continue their gentle flow, a hidden pulse sustaining life in the darkness. This bioelectric activity helps maintain communication between plants and fungi, coordinating growth and defense even when visible activity has ceased. The steady hum of electrical signals acts as a backbone for the forest's resilience, linking individuals into a larger, interconnected whole. Even in sleep, the forest breathes with energy. When a tree is wounded by wind or an animal, electrical signals quickly travel from the site of injury throughout the organism, alerting distant tissues to activate defenses. These signals trigger the production of protective compounds and strengthen cell walls, preparing the plant for further challenges. This rapid systemic response, guided by bioelectrical cues, showcases plants' remarkable capacity for integration and survival. The mycorrhizal network plays a vital role in distributing resources through electrical and chemical signals. Carbon compounds, nitrogen, and other nutrients flow along these fungal highways, balancing supply and demand across the forest. Older, established trees may share sugars with younger seedlings struggling in shade, promoting forest health and regeneration. Electrical communication ensures this sharing is coordinated and responsive to environmental conditions. Electrical fields generated by roots also influence soil structure and chemistry. These fields can alter ion mobility and microbial activity, shaping the rhizosphere in ways that optimize nutrient availability. The interplay of electrical signals and biochemical processes creates a dynamic environment where plants and microbes co-create fertile soil. This synergy underscores the deep connections between living organisms and their habitats. Plants' sensitivity to electrical stimuli extends to environmental factors such as lightning and geomagnetic fields. These natural electric phenomena can influence growth and development, although the mechanisms remain an active area of research. Some studies suggest that plants may use magnetic and electrical cues for orientation and timing, adding layers to their sensory world. The role of bioelectricity in plant memory is an emerging frontier. Persistent electrical changes may prime plants for enhanced responses to recurring stresses, such as drought or herbivory. This electrical memory complements hormonal and genetic mechanisms, providing a multifaceted system for adaptation. Understanding these processes could revolutionize approaches to agriculture and ecosystem management. Above ground, electrical dynamics regulate stomatal behavior, controlling water loss and gas exchange in response to environmental fluctuations. These processes are crucial for maintaining photosynthesis and overall plant health. The coupling of electrical signals with environmental sensing allows plants to balance resource use efficiently, a vital adaptation to changing conditions. From ancient forests to urban parks, the electric forest beneath our feet connects all plant life in a web of energy and information. This hidden network sustains growth, coordinates defense, and facilitates cooperation, revealing a world of complexity beneath the surface. Recognizing this bioelectrical web deepens our appreciation for the subtle forces that shape life on Earth. The next time you wander through trees or rest in a garden, remember the quiet electric dance unfolding beneath the soil. Invisible currents pulse through roots and fungi, carrying messages that bind the forest in unity. This electric forest is a living testament to nature's interconnectedness, a silent heartbeat supporting the vibrant world above. In the quiet world of plants, communication unfolds without sound or speech, a silent language spoken through chemicals, light, and touch. Though plants lack mouths and ears, they have evolved intricate systems to send messages across roots, leaves, and even through the air. This hidden conversation shapes survival, growth, and community in ways as profound as any spoken word. Understanding how plants speak without a voice reveals a world of subtlety and connection that pulses beneath our notice. Imagine a tree standing tall in a forest, its branches swaying gently. While it may seem alone, it is in constant contact with neighbors through a network of chemical signals and underground fungal threads. When an insect begins to nibble a leaf, the tree releases volatile organic compounds into the air, signaling distress. Nearby plants detect these airborne messages, activating their own defenses before the attacker arrives. This silent warning system is a testament to plants' ability to perceive and respond to danger collectively. Below ground, roots exude a complex cocktail of chemicals that shape the soil environment and influence neighboring plants. These root exudates attract beneficial microbes that enhance nutrient uptake and deter pathogens. They can also inhibit the growth of competing plants, a chemical form of negotiation or competition known as allelopathy. Through this underground chemical dialogue, plants influence community dynamics, fostering cooperation or rivalry as conditions demand. Light also serves as a messenger in the plant world. Changes in light quality and intensity inform plants about shading from neighbors or approaching seasons. Photoreceptors translate these light cues into hormonal signals that adjust growth patterns, flowering times, and defense responses. This use of light as communication allows plants to anticipate environmental changes and coordinate with others. Touch is yet another channel of plant communication. When one part of a plant is disturbed, electrical signals travel rapidly to other areas, prompting adjustments in growth or defense. Some climbing plants sense the support structures around them through touch, guiding their tendrils to coil and climb. These tactile interactions enable plants to navigate their environment with a form of perception beyond human senses. Plants also employ electrical signaling to coordinate responses. Changes in membrane potentials within cells can propagate as waves, alerting distant tissues to wounds or environmental stresses. This bioelectrical communication complements chemical signaling, creating a multi-layered language that integrates internal and external information. The chemical vocabulary of plants is vast and nuanced. Compounds such as jasmonic acid and salicylic acid regulate immune responses, while others mediate growth and reproduction. These molecules travel through vascular systems or diffuse through the air and soil, reaching target cells or neighboring plants. The specificity and timing of these signals are crucial, ensuring appropriate responses to diverse stimuli. Some plants engage in mutualistic communication with insects and animals. Flowers produce scents and nectar to attract pollinators, while fruits signal ripeness through color and smell to encourage seed dispersal. These interactions rely on a shared language of chemical and visual cues, binding plants and animals in ecological partnerships. Research has uncovered fascinating examples of plant talking. For instance, sagebrush releases warning chemicals that not only protect itself, but also prime neighboring plants of different species for herbivore attacks. In agricultural settings, understanding these signals offers potential for pest management and crop protection through natural plant defenses. While plants cannot speak or hear, their communication networks create a dynamic and responsive community. They send and receive messages that influence growth, defense, reproduction, and survival. This silent speech shapes ecosystems, maintaining balance and fostering resilience. Next time you stand among plants or walk through a garden, remember the invisible conversations swirling around you. Though silent, plants speak volumes through chemistry, light, touch, and electricity, a language as old as life itself, connecting all green beings in a web of communication. Let us delve deeper into the silent conversations that plants conduct beneath our feet and above our heads, a complex language without words, spoken through chemicals, light, and touch. This communication system is ancient, evolving over millions of years to enable plants to survive, thrive, and cooperate in their environments. It is a world where molecules carry messages, where electric signals ripple through tissues, and where subtle cues guide growth and defense in ways that feel almost like sentience. Roots, for example, release a diverse array of chemicals into the soil, shaping their immediate environment and influencing neighboring plants. These root exudates can attract beneficial microbes that aid in nutrient absorption, or release toxins that inhibit competitors, a silent negotiation fought in the darkness. This underground chemical dialogue is critical for community structure, enabling plants to carve out niches and form symbiotic partnerships. The composition of root secretions changes dynamically, responding to nutrient availability, stress, and even signals from other plants. Above ground, plants emit volatile organic compounds, VOCs, into the air, creating a fragrant cloud of messages. When under herbivore attack, These VOCs can warn neighboring plants to bolster their defenses, effectively priming them for potential threats. Some VOCs attract predators or parasitoids of herbivores, turning enemies against one another. This ecological interplay demonstrates plants' ability to manipulate their environment and allies through chemical signaling. Light also serves as a communication channel. Plants detect changes in light quality caused by shading from neighboring vegetation, triggering shade avoidance responses that adjust growth patterns. Photoreceptors such as phytochrome sense red and far-red light ratios, informing plants of competition and prompting them to elongate stems or alter leaf orientation. This light-based signaling coordinates plant behavior, influencing community dynamics and resource allocation. Touch-sensitive plants, like the sensitive Mimosa pudica, respond to mechanical stimuli by folding leaves or altering growth, a form of rapid communication within the organism. Electrical signals generated by touch travel swiftly, activating responses to deter herbivores or avoid damage. This tactile signaling reflects an internal communication network that integrates external inputs with physiological reactions. Electrical signaling complements chemical and mechanical communication. Changes in membrane potentials propagate through plant tissues, transmitting information about wounds, stress, or environmental changes. These bioelectrical waves can trigger gene expression and metabolic shifts, enabling plants to mount timely responses. The integration of electrical and chemical signals forms a robust communication system vital for survival. Plants also engage in mutualistic exchanges with pollinators and seed dispersers using a combination of chemical cues, colors, and shapes. Flowers emit scents timed to attract specific pollinators, while fruits develop vibrant hues and aromas signaling ripeness. These signals ensure reproductive success through precise ecological interactions, a language shared across kingdoms. Recent studies reveal that plants can eavesdrop on chemical signals from neighbors, responding differentially to kin versus strangers. This recognition influences growth patterns and resource sharing, suggesting a sophisticated level of interaction and community regulation. Such findings challenge traditional views of plants as passive organisms, highlighting their dynamic social lives. Understanding plant communication opens new possibilities for agriculture and conservation. Harnessing natural signaling pathways can improve pest management, enhance crop resilience, and promote sustainable ecosystems. By mimicking or enhancing these silent conversations, humans can work with nature rather than against it. The silent language of plants is a testament to life's ingenuity, demonstrating that communication need not rely on sound or words to be profound. Through chemicals, light, touch, and electricity, plants form vibrant communities, sharing information that shapes their fate and the ecosystems they inhabit. Next time you walk among trees, flowers, or grasses, pause to consider the invisible dialogues taking place. Though unheard, these conversations are alive and vital, weaving a tapestry of connection and cooperation that sustains the green world around us. As twilight deepens, the silent conversations among plants continue, weaving a tapestry of signals that shape their survival and growth. Electrical impulses pulse gently through veins and roots, carrying urgent news of damage or stress to distant parts. This bioelectrical network functions like a nervous system, alerting the plant to respond swiftly and effectively. When a leaf is grazed by an insect, these electrical signals trigger chemical defenses, producing bitter compounds or toxins that deter further feeding. The plant's rapid internal communication is a testament to its resilience and adaptability. Beyond individual plants, the mycorrhizal fungal networks act as conduits for both electrical and chemical messages, connecting roots across species and distances. Through these fungal highways, resources such as carbon, nitrogen, and water are shared, balancing supply and demand in a cooperative community. Trees can send sugars to shaded saplings or signal neighbors about pest outbreaks, orchestrating a collective response to environmental challenges. This underground web of interaction blurs the boundaries between organisms, creating a forest-wide intelligence. Chemical signals released into the air, such as volatile organic compounds, also play a crucial role in plant communication. These airborne messages can warn neighboring plants of herbivores, prompting them to activate their own defenses preemptively. Some plants release attractants that summon predatory insects, turning attackers against each other in a natural form of pest control. This dynamic interplay shapes ecosystems, influencing food webs and species interactions. Plants are also remarkably sensitive to mechanical stimuli. Touch triggers electrical and hormonal responses that adjust growth patterns or strengthen tissues. Climbing vines detect supports and respond by coiling tendrils, while trees exposed to wind develop thicker trunks and flexible branches. This mechanosensing enables plants to navigate their physical environment, optimizing stability and resource acquisition. The integration of chemical, electrical, and mechanical signals forms a complex language that governs plant behavior. Feedback loops regulate growth, defense, and reproduction, allowing plants to adapt to changing conditions with precision. This multimodal communication exemplifies life's ingenuity, thriving without the need for brains or voices. Recent research uncovers that plants can distinguish between kin and strangers through chemical cues, influencing cooperation and competition. This recognition affects resource allocation and growth strategies, fostering community dynamics that enhance survival. Such social behavior challenges traditional perceptions of plants as passive and solitary. Understanding plant communication has profound implications for agriculture and ecology. By leveraging natural signaling pathways, it is possible to enhance crop resilience, reduce pesticide use, and promote sustainable farming practices. Cultivating plants' innate communication abilities offers a pathway to harmonize human activities with natural systems. The silent language of plants is a symphony of life, a constant exchange of information that sustains ecosystems. Though inaudible to human ears, this communication shapes the world's green fabric, enabling adaptation, cooperation, and survival across millennia. Next time you walk through a garden or forest, imagine the vibrant conversations occurring around you. Invisible to the eye yet vital to life, plants speak through chemistry, electricity, and touch, a language of connection that binds all living things in a shared story of existence. As dawn breaks and the forest awakens, the silent language of plants continues to unfold, revealing layers of connection and response that define life itself. This language, composed of chemicals, electric pulses, and mechanical signals, forms a network of interactions that shape the growth and health of every leaf, root, and flower. These subtle conversations allow plants to navigate challenges, share resources, and synchronize their life cycles, creating harmony in ecosystems vast and small. One remarkable aspect of this communication is the ability of plants to remember past events, a biological memory stored not in neurons but in molecular patterns and signaling pathways. When a plant experiences stress, such as drought or herbivory, it can prime itself and its neighbors for future encounters, enhancing resilience. This priming involves epigenetic changes and persistent signaling molecules that modify gene expression, enabling a more robust response upon re-exposure. This form of memory extends the plant's awareness beyond immediate stimuli, linking past, present, and future in a continuous dialogue. Plants also communicate across species boundaries, engaging in mutualistic relationships that rely on precise signaling. For example, legumes release flavonoids that attract nitrogen-fixing bacteria, initiating the formation of root nodules that enrich soil fertility. Mycorrhizal fungi respond to plant exudates by extending networks that facilitate nutrient exchange. These partnerships are built on chemical conversations that balance cost and benefit, sustaining ecosystems and agricultural productivity alike. In addition to chemical and electrical signals, plants use light cues to coordinate behaviors both within and between individuals. Changes in light quality inform plants of shading by competitors, triggering growth adjustments. Some species emit fluorescent signals visible to pollinators, enhancing reproductive success. This visual communication complements other modalities, creating a multisensory language adapted to diverse environments. Mechanical signals generated by wind, touch, or movement also inform plant responses. Plants exposed to mechanical stress often develop stronger stems and altered growth patterns, a phenomenon known as thigmomorphogenesis. These adaptations improve survival in dynamic habitats and reflect an ability to integrate physical information into developmental programs. Research into plant communication continues to uncover complexity and nuance, challenging perceptions of plants as passive. Advanced imaging and molecular techniques reveal rapid signaling events and intricate feedback networks that rival animal nervous systems in sophistication. These findings invite us to reconsider the boundaries of cognition and intelligence in the natural world. Harnessing plant communication offers promising avenues for sustainable agriculture and ecosystem management. By understanding and manipulating signaling pathways, it may be possible to enhance crop resistance, optimize resource use, and reduce reliance on chemical inputs. This approach aligns human practices with the innate rhythms and languages of plants, fostering harmony between cultivation and conservation. The silent speech of plants is a testament to nature's ingenuity and interconnectedness. Through a tapestry of chemical, electrical, and mechanical signals, plants engage in continuous dialogue that shapes life on Earth. This communication sustains growth, mediates relationships, and adapts to change, embodying the resilience and creativity of the living world. As you move through green spaces, take a moment to sense the vibrant conversations unfolding around you. Though silent to our ears, plants speak in languages rich and varied, weaving stories of survival and cooperation that bind all life in a shared dance of existence. In the world of plants, timing is everything, and flowers possess an exquisite awareness of the passing hours and changing seasons. This internal sense of time guides their blossoming, aligning petal opening with the arrival of pollinators, the warmth of the sun, and the delicate rhythms of nature. Without clocks or calendars, flowers read the world's signals with a quiet precision, a deep understanding woven into their cells through eons of evolution. Each bloom is a gentle response to a symphony of environmental cues that tell a story of light and life. Photoreceptors in plants act as sensitive instruments, detecting shifts in the quality and quantity of light. They measure day length, recognizing subtle changes that signal the approach of spring or autumn. This phenomenon, known as photoperiodism, is crucial for synchronizing flowering with optimal conditions for reproduction. As days grow longer or shorter, these receptors translate light into biochemical signals that awaken dormant buds, initiating the slow unfurling of petals. Through this process, flowers maintain harmony with the Earth's cycles, opening only when success is most likely. Temperature also influences flowering time. Many plants require a period of cold exposure, called vernalization, to prepare for blooming. This chilling period modifies gene expression within buds, a biological memory that prevents premature flowering during unseasonal warmth. By waiting out the winter, flowers ensure their delicate reproductive organs are safe from frost, blooming only when conditions stabilize. This interplay between light and temperature creates a finely tuned dance of growth and rest, survival and renewal. Hormones within the plant orchestrate these responses, carrying messages that regulate cell division, elongation, and differentiation. Gibberellins promote growth and floral development, while abscisic acid can delay flowering under stress. The balance between these and other hormones shapes the timing and success of bloom, allowing plants to adapt to their environment's challenges. This hormonal choreography is a silent conversation that unfolds within every leaf and petal. Flowers also adjust their opening times daily, guided by circadian rhythms that synchronize with the sun's journey across the sky. Morning glories open at dawn to greet pollinators, while evening primroses bloom at dusk to attract nocturnal visitors. This timing maximizes pollination efficiency, ensuring the continuation of life through precise ecological partnerships. Fragrance and nectar release are often coordinated with these rhythms, enhancing attraction and communication. In addition to environmental cues, flowers carry memories of past seasons and stresses. Some species flower earlier or later depending on prior drought or nutrient availability, demonstrating a form of biological learning. These adaptations increase resilience, allowing plants to optimize reproduction in fluctuating conditions. This dynamic timing reflects a sophisticated interplay between genetics, environment, and experience. Molecular studies reveal that genes like CONSTANS and flowering locust T play central roles in controlling flowering time, integrating signals from photoreceptors and temperature sensors. Mutations in these genes can alter blooming schedules, affecting plant fitness and survival. Understanding these genetic pathways offers tools for agriculture, enabling the development of crops suited to diverse climates and growing conditions. Flowering timing impacts ecosystems beyond individual plants. Coordinated blooming supports pollinator populations and ensures seed dispersal aligns with favorable conditions. In some tropical forests, mass flowering events overwhelm seed predators, a strategy that increases offspring survival. These community-level phenomena highlight the importance of timing in maintaining biodiversity and ecological balance. As you observe a flower opening or closing, consider the myriad signals and memories guiding this delicate act. Each petal's movement reflects millions of years of evolution, a silent wisdom that connects plants to the rhythms of the earth. Flowers know the time not by chance but through a profound biological understanding, a testament to nature's intricate design. Next time you walk through a garden or forest, watch the flowers with new eyes. See them not just as beautiful ornaments but as timekeepers and storytellers, living calendars that mark the passage of days and seasons. Their blooms are gentle reminders of life's enduring cycles, whispered in the language of light and time. The forest floor is alive with invisible currents of electricity, weaving a network that pulses with the quiet hum of life itself. Beneath our feet, roots entwine with fungal threads to form a vast web of communication and resource sharing, known as the mycorrhizal network. This hidden system carries not only nutrients, but also electrical signals that ripple through the soil, connecting individual plants into a collective intelligence. These bioelectrical impulses travel slowly yet persistently, guiding growth, defense, and survival in ways that resemble a nervous system without nerves. Plants generate electrical potentials across their cell membranes through the movement of ions such as potassium and calcium. These bioelectrical signals transmit information rapidly within a plant, triggering responses to wounds, environmental changes, and developmental cues. When a leaf is damaged, electrical waves travel from the site of injury to other parts of the plant, activating defense mechanisms and preparing distant tissues for potential threats. This internal communication system is fundamental to a plant's resilience, orchestrating a symphony of biochemical and physiological changes. The mycorrhizal fungi amplify this communication by connecting roots of different plants, creating an underground superhighway of information and resources. Through this network, carbon, nitrogen, water, and minerals flow between plants, balancing supply and demand across the community. Electrical signals travel along these fungal threads, transmitting warnings of pests or environmental stress, enabling neighboring plants to mount defenses before harm arrives. This cooperation blurs the line between individual organisms, fostering an interconnected ecosystem. Electrical fields generated by plant roots influence the behavior of soil microbes, shaping the rhizosphere's microbial community. These fields affect microbial movement, colonization, and activity, promoting beneficial relationships that enhance nutrient uptake and disease resistance. The dynamic interplay between electrical and chemical signals creates a fertile environment where plants and microbes co-evolve, supporting each other's growth and health. Plants also detect and respond to external electrical stimuli such as lightning, geomagnetic fields, and even static charges. These environmental electrical phenomena can influence growth patterns, gene expression, and physiological processes, adding layers of complexity to plant perception. Some species may use geomagnetic cues for orientation and timing, suggesting an expanded sensory world beyond human understanding. Recent research suggests that bioelectrical signaling contributes to plant memory and learning. Persistent electrical changes can prime plants for enhanced responses to recurring stresses like drought or herbivory. This electrical priming works alongside hormonal and genetic mechanisms, forming a multifaceted system of adaptation. Unlocking these processes holds promise for advancing agriculture and ecosystem management. Above ground, electrical currents regulate critical functions such as photosynthesis, stomatal opening, and water transport. Membrane potentials fluctuate in response to light intensity, humidity, and temperature, modulating physiological activities that sustain the plant. This integration of electrical and environmental signals allows plants to optimize resource use and maintain homeostasis. The ancient pulse of bioelectricity in forests may have inspired human reverence for the natural world, perceived as a life force animating trees and plants. Modern science now uncovers the intricacies of this electrical web, bridging biology and physics in understanding life's foundation. The electric forest beneath our feet is a living testament to nature's interconnectedness, a silent current sustaining the green world above. As you walk among trees, imagine the slow, steady flow of electricity beneath the soil, connecting roots and fungi in a vast network of life. This electric forest hums with unseen energy, a hidden heartbeat that binds all living things. It reminds us that beneath the surface, life moves not only through water and nutrients but through pulses of electric connection, weaving the fabric of the natural world. In the quiet dance of nature, plants communicate without voices, weaving a silent language of chemicals, light, and touch that connects every leaf and root in an intricate web of interaction. Though they lack mouths and ears, plants have evolved sophisticated systems to send and receive messages, coordinating growth, defense, and reproduction across landscapes. This silent conversation, invisible to the human eye, shapes ecosystems and sustains life in profound ways. When an insect begins to nibble on a leaf, the plant responds by releasing volatile organic compounds into the air, chemical signals that drift through the breeze, warning neighboring plants of the impending threat. These neighbors, upon detecting the airborne message, activate their own defenses, producing bitter toxins or sticky resins to deter herbivores. This chemical warning system exemplifies how plants share information, building a community of resilience without a single word spoken. Beneath the surface, roots engage in their own dialogue, exuding a complex mix of chemicals into the soil. These root secretions attract beneficial microbes that aid in nutrient absorption and fend off harmful pathogens. They can also suppress the growth of competing plants through allelopathy, a silent chemical negotiation shaping the neighborhood. Through this subterranean exchange, plants influence each other's growth and survival, fostering cooperation or competition as the environment dictates. Light serves as a messenger too. Plants detect changes in light quality and quantity, using photoreceptors to sense shading by neighbors or the approach of seasons. These light cues trigger hormonal changes that adjust growth patterns, flowering times, and defensive strategies. The ability to read light as information allows plants to anticipate environmental changes and coordinate their development accordingly. Touch conveys vital information as well. Some plants, like the sensitive Mimosa pudica, fold their leaves in response to contact, while climbing vines detect supports and coil tendrils around them. Mechanical stimulation generates electrical signals that travel through the plant, initiating responses that protect or aid survival. This tactile communication complements chemical and light-based signals, creating a rich sensory network. Electrical signals weave through plant tissues, enabling rapid communication over distances. When injured, plants generate bioelectrical waves that alert distant parts, prompting defensive measures or repair. This electrical messaging operates alongside chemical signals, together orchestrating complex responses to environmental stimuli. Flowers and fruits participate in this silent language through visual and chemical signals designed to attract pollinators and seed dispersers. Colorful petals, enticing scents, and sugary nectar form a vocabulary that facilitates ecological partnerships essential for reproduction. These signals are finely tuned to the preferences and behaviors of animal visitors, illustrating coevolutionary communication. Plants can discern kin from strangers, responding differently to chemical cues emitted by relatives. This recognition influences resource sharing, growth, and defense, suggesting social behavior within plant communities. Such findings challenge traditional notions of plants as solitary and passive, revealing dynamic networks of interaction. The study of plant communication offers promising avenues for sustainable agriculture and ecosystem management. By harnessing natural signaling pathways, farmers can enhance crop resilience, reduce chemical inputs, and promote biodiversity. Working with plants, innate languages aligns human activity with ecological balance. Though silent to our ears, plants engage in vibrant conversations that sustain life on Earth. Their languages of chemistry, light, touch, and electricity form the foundation of ecosystems, connecting organisms across space and time. This quiet communication is a testament to nature's ingenuity and interconnectedness. Next time you wander among greenery, pause to imagine the rich tapestry of messages flowing invisibly around you. Plants speak without words, sharing stories of survival, cooperation, and adaptation, a silent symphony that underpins the living world. As the forest darkens and shadows lengthen, the silent language of plants continues its subtle unfolding, a tapestry woven from chemicals, electric signals, and tactile responses. These interactions form an intricate web of communication that sustains the health and balance of ecosystems. Electrical impulses ripple through plant tissues, rapidly conveying information about injury or environmental change, while chemical messengers spread warnings and calls for assistance to neighbors near and far. This multi-layered network allows plants to act in concert, coordinating defenses and growth with a unity that belies their stationary existence. When a leaf is wounded, an electrical signal swiftly travels from the site of damage through the plant's vascular system, activating genes responsible for producing protective compounds. This rapid systemic response helps to limit further damage and prepare uninjured parts for potential threats. In tandem, chemical signals are released into the air, alerting neighboring plants to bolster their defenses. These volatile organic compounds may attract predatory insects, natural allies in the plant's fight against herbivores, demonstrating a sophisticated ecological partnership. Beneath the surface, roots engage in their own silent dialogue with the surrounding soil and microbial community. Through the mycorrhizal network, fungal filaments connect roots of different plants, facilitating the exchange of nutrients and information. This underground superhighway allows resources to flow to plants in need and enables the spread of electrical and chemical signals that coordinate responses to stressors like drought or disease. Such cooperation enhances the resilience of entire plant communities, emphasizing the interconnectedness of life beneath our feet. Mechanical stimuli such as wind or touch further enrich plant communication. Thigmomorphogenesis, the growth response to mechanical stress, leads to sturdier stems and altered growth patterns that enhance survival. Some climbing plants sense physical contact and adjust their movements to grasp supports, while others may close leaves or secrete protective compounds in response to disturbance. These tactile communications complement chemical and electrical signaling, forming a complex sensory system that guides plant behavior. Research reveals that plants can distinguish between kin and strangers based on chemical cues, influencing their growth and resource allocation. Such recognition fosters cooperation among related individuals while mediating competition with others, highlighting social dynamics previously unappreciated in plant biology. These findings challenge traditional views of plants as passive organisms, unveiling a rich social life mediated by silent communication. Understanding the languages of plants opens new horizons for agriculture and ecosystem stewardship. By tapping into natural signaling pathways, we can develop sustainable strategies to improve crop health, reduce pesticide use, and support biodiversity. Aligning human practices with the innate communication networks of plants offers a path toward harmonious coexistence with nature. The silent conversations of plants are a profound expression of life's adaptability and interconnectedness. Through chemistry, electricity, and touch, plants weave a dynamic dialogue that shapes the living world. This quiet symphony sustains growth, fosters cooperation, and orchestrates survival across landscapes and seasons. As you move through forests, gardens, or fields, consider the invisible exchanges unfolding around you. Though inaudible, these communications are vibrant and vital, linking every leaf, root, and flower in a shared story of life. As dawn breaks and sunlight filters gently through the canopy, the silent communication of plants continues its endless rhythm, a dance of signals that governs growth, defense, and renewal. Chemical messengers traverse leaves and roots, while electric pulses ripple beneath the bark, weaving a network of responsiveness and resilience. This continuous flow of information allows plants to adapt seamlessly to their environment, coordinating with neighbors and responding to threats with remarkable precision. These interactions embody the intricate complexity of life, where even the smallest leaf participates in a vast conversation. Plants possess a biological memory that extends beyond immediate responses, storing experiences of stress, environmental changes, and injury. This memory is encoded in molecular changes, epigenetic modifications, persistent signaling molecules, and altered gene expression that prime plants for future challenges. Such priming enhances defense mechanisms and growth adaptations, enabling plants and their communities to anticipate and withstand adversity. This form of biological foresight, though silent and chemical, speaks volumes about the intelligence woven into plant life. Mutualistic relationships deepen this web of communication. Leguminous plants emit flavonoids that attract nitrogen-fixing bacteria, initiating symbiosis that enriches soil fertility. Mycorrhizal fungi respond to root exudates by extending vast networks that facilitate nutrient and water exchange. These partnerships rely on precise chemical dialogues, balancing costs and benefits to sustain ecosystems. The dance of communication thus transcends species boundaries, creating a living mosaic of interdependence. Light itself acts as a messenger beyond photosynthesis. Plants detect changes in light quality, using photoreceptors to sense shading and seasonal shifts. These light cues trigger hormonal pathways that regulate flowering, growth direction, and defense responses. Some species even emit fluorescent signals visible to pollinators, enhancing reproductive success. This visual signaling adds richness to the chemical and electrical languages plants use to navigate their world. Mechanical stimuli, wind, touch, vibration, also inform plant behavior. Through thigmomorphogenesis, plants exposed to mechanical stress develop stronger structures and altered growth patterns. Tendrils coil around supports in response to touch, while trees sway and strengthen in response to wind. These mechanosensory responses integrate with chemical and electrical signaling, creating a multifaceted perception that guides survival and adaptation. Advancements in research reveal the remarkable sophistication of plant communication, challenging long-held assumptions of plant passivity. Techniques such as molecular imaging and electrophysiology uncover rapid signaling events and complex feedback loops that coordinate growth and defense. These discoveries invite a redefinition of cognition and intelligence in the natural world, recognizing plants as dynamic and interactive beings. Harnessing plant communication offers innovative pathways for sustainable agriculture and environmental stewardship. By understanding and enhancing natural signaling, we can improve crop resilience, reduce chemical inputs, and foster biodiversity. Aligning agricultural practices with plant communication networks promotes ecosystem health and long-term productivity. The silent speech of plants is a symphony of life, a continuous exchange of information that sustains ecosystems worldwide. Through a tapestry of chemical, electrical, and mechanical signals, plants engage in dialogue that shapes growth, mediates relationships, and adapts to change. This communication embodies the resilience and creativity inherent in all living things. As you wander among trees, flowers, and grasses, pause to sense the vibrant conversations unfolding invisibly around you. Though silent to human ears, these exchanges are vital threads in the fabric of life, connecting every green being in a shared narrative of survival and coexistence. In the quiet unfolding of a garden or the depths of a forest, flowers reveal a secret mastery over time, blossoming with an awareness as precise as a clockmaker's hand. Each bloom is timed to greet the sun or the night in perfect harmony with pollinators, seasons, and shifting light. This intricate timing is no accident but a symphony of internal clocks, molecular signals, and environmental cues finely tuned over millennia. Flowers are living calendars, their petals marking the passage of days and the rhythm of the earth. At the heart of this temporal awareness lie photoreceptors, molecules within leaves and buds that measure day length and light quality. Through photoperiodism, plants discern the subtle changes in sunlight that signal the approach of spring, summer, or autumn. These signals translate into chemical messages that awaken dormant buds and initiate flowering. The plant's internal clock coordinates these responses, ensuring blossoms appear when pollinators are active and conditions are favorable for reproduction. Temperature complements light in guiding flowering time. Vernalization, the chilling period many plants require before blooming, acts as a biological memory of winter's passing. Exposure to cold modifies gene expression, silencing growth repressors and preparing the plant for renewed activity. This mechanism prevents premature flowering during fall springs, safeguarding delicate reproductive tissues. The interplay of light and temperature signals orchestrates a dance of anticipation and patience. Within the flower bud, hormones choreograph growth and bloom. Gibberellins promote cell division and expansion, pushing petals outward in a slow unfolding. Phlorestin, the flowering hormone, travels from leaves to buds, signaling the transition from vegetative growth to reproduction. Abscisic acid modulates this process, delaying flowering under stress to conserve resources. This hormonal ballet integrates environmental cues with genetic programming, balancing growth and survival. Daily rhythms further refine flower opening and closing. Circadian clocks regulate petal movements, nectar secretion, and scent release, aligning these activities with pollinator behaviors. Morning glories unfurl at dawn to welcome bees, while evening primroses bloom at dusk, attracting moths and bats. This synchronization maximizes pollination efficiency, a testament to coevolution and ecological harmony. Flowers also adapt their timing based on past experiences. Plants may flower earlier or later in response to drought, nutrient availability, or other stresses, demonstrating a form of plasticity and memory. These adjustments enhance reproductive success in fluctuating environments, showcasing the dynamic interplay between genetics and ecology. Molecular research uncovers genes like CONSTANS and flowering locust T that integrate photoperiod and temperature signals to control flowering time. Mutations in these genes can alter bloom schedules, affecting plant fitness and distribution. Understanding these pathways offers tools for breeding crops suited to diverse climates and agricultural needs. Flowering timing influences ecological relationships beyond pollination. Coordinated blooms support pollinator populations and seed dispersers, while mass flowering events in some tropical species overwhelm seed predators, enhancing seed survival. These communal phenomena highlight timing's role in ecosystem balance and biodiversity. As you observe a flower opening or closing, consider the intricate web of signals and memories guiding this moment. Each bloom embodies millions of years of evolution, a silent wisdom linking plants to the cycles of earth and sky. Flowers know the time through a delicate interplay of light, temperature, hormones, and genetic memory, a living testament to nature's precision. Next time you stroll through a garden or forest, watch flowers with newfound appreciation. See them as timekeepers and storytellers, their blooms a gentle reminder of life's enduring cycles and the hidden rhythms that sustain the green world.